Holy stealth, we are live. How are we going on?
Go.
Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
to Dogs Podcast, where we talk everything
Hi, Adele.
theme parks. Adele, what? Hello.
Aaron just comes in going, hello.
Oh, I was going more for the Lionel.
Okay.
Let's not
Is
try
it
and
stealth
engage
you're
me.
looking for?
Or
If you
read
wanna
to the
sing it,
stealth Peter.
Do it.
More on that later.
More on that
Luke.
later.
Just before that, the countdown rolled. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Just before
bugger.
it literally went, please do not say fuck. And it just cut. It's brilliant.
Anyway, let's do the
Yeah.
intro, guys. Professionalism.
Nah, fuck that out the window. Wednesday.
But no, welcome to the Chain Dogs Podcast. We've got a massive episode tonight. So much has been released today, hasn't it? So, especially from America, a lot of Seaworld announcements. And if hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. And also, if you're listening after the show on Spotify, Amazon Music, what the other
Google
ones?
Podcasts.
Google Podcasts. We're
Google
still waiting for
Podcasts.
Apple. But if
How's-
you are
does Apple
listening,
still not like us?
Can you put me the
come
hell up,
and
please?
join. Me?
No, not
Oh,
you.
no,
Apple.
no.
Apple Podcast. Come on,
Sorry,
Sean.
join the intro.
You're losing them. They're dropping off.
Okay,
We've
oh.
lost about 10 viewers by this
Oh,
point.
Jesus Christ. Cut it.
Got it. Go. But yeah, if you are listening to the podcast, please come and join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. UK time. Get in the chat. We like to interact with everyone. So yeah, McCall has the schedule for tonight. So do you want to do the run through of what's coming up?
Yeah, so we've got some news out of Flamingo Land. It seems work has resumed on their new 10 inversion coaster. And out of Thorpe Park, we've got some news, some teasers and some releases of the houses for Fright Nights, right?
Yeah, pretty much everything at par one, but yeah.
Yeah, apart from one. Got
Yeah,
a couple other little bits out of was it Dreamland Margate, Diggerland you mentioned, Luke? We've got a few of those. Over in the States, the Seaworld Entertainment announcements, Iron Gwazi, Icebreaker, Pantheon, etc., etc. A Top Thrill Dragster update about the unfortunate incident that happened over at Cedar Point not long ago. A few unfortunate incidents over at Fuji-Q Highland in Japan with Doda Dumper, their launch coaster over there, which is one of my top bucket list coasters. So we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, man.
And that's about it. Yeah. So we got some stuff. We got some stuff to talk about. Some stuff.
And whatever you have for us in the chat, so get them questions in as
well. Whatever questions you
That's
guys
right,
have for us in the chat.
Ask us things.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Talk to us. We're lonely.
Yeah, I'm really lonely.
We need friends. Come on.
I still not go that far, right?
Why do I feel like that's McCall's way of trying to pick someone up? Talk to me, I'm lonely.
It sounded rehearsed, right?
So yeah,
That's
let's
definitely
first of all, let's who's got the info on Flamingo Land? Let's get the
No one
the
is not
coaster.
here, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
isn't with us tonight.
Massive shout out to Joe as well.
Yeah.
He unfortunately had some things he needed to deal with today, so he couldn't be here. The one person who was probably most equipped to talk about our first topic.
I know we could reel this off like nothing.
But right, okay. So look, work.
Men on track.
Men on track.
On
And,
track.
Literally, men on track.
Yeah, it's great to see finally. But you know what's annoying? That this isn't coming from the park. This is coming from this is from Flamingo Pics. This is someone who's on the park, who's taking photos of the work that's going on, but still nothing official from the park themselves, which is, I've said it too many times on it, and we've only had episode 3, but it's just ridiculous. Come on, tell us. I wonder if, I know this could sound silly, but with the SeaWorld announcements and more people announcing and being truthful with their guests, I wonder if this will Flamingo Land would be like, oh, okay, right. So they've said when it's going to open. So maybe we should like start to be realistic with our opening times. Or maybe they've already got a date. And they just don't want to let us know.
I think you're giving the marketing team too much credit there, to be honest.
That's the first.
I think, I don't think, with all due respect to the marketing team at Flamingo Land, I just feel like they're this local kind of mindset of like, we're Flamingo Land. Don't really look at what other park, especially over in Seaworld. Like they're not looking over that far ahead.
That comment.
If Flamingo Land have given up already and the workmen are dismantling it.
Well, look, the job's done for them, isn't it? Someone else taking pictures, someone else has put it out there. They don't have to do anything. They have to pay.
I reckon next week we'll see a priest trying to exercise it and getting rid of the curse. I think.
Holy water!
Like, we're gonna have to do something, man.
You'll see a champagne bottle just flapping from where it didn't break when it hit the track.
Oh my god!
You see the workers being given bread and wine and shit.
I think, guys, I know Joe loves Flamingo Land, and I like the park as well. But I don't think we should talk about this coaster until they announce it again now.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I agree.
Right, okay. So let's not say until they announce it. Let's say until we see any footage of the ride going round, because that'll be a big day. That'll be a big day.
Yeah. Trim said in the chat, and I agree with him. There's crack in the paint already.
There is.
Because since it's been
using
sat
the same
in the
paint from
heap,
early news. That's why.
Since it's been sat in a heap in South America.
Is that special crack?
It hasn't been repainted yet. Apparently, they're repainting it.
Yeah, great, like Icon, and with Union Jack trains apparently.
But yeah, it's not been painted since it was sat in a heap in South America.
Fingers crossed for a 2025 opening from Top Fuel Tourist.
Oh man! But anyway, so SeaWorld.
Yeah, like
should we get into those?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Iron Gwazi and Icebreaker got announced as officially delayed until March and February, respectively. Icebreaker is delayed until February 2022. Iron Gwazi delayed until March 2022. Busch Gardens Williamsburg said something about Pantheon. They're going to be providing an update on it in the coming weeks. I've heard just today that from a couple of places that it might be next week that we hear about what their announcement could be. I'm personally just expecting it to be a delay until next year as well. But with Iron Gwazi, Busch has also said that pass holders whose passes expired, pass holders who got their passes during or after some date in September of 2019 that aren't going to be valid by the time Iron Gwazi opens are going to be able to sign up for like basically an ERT, which is a great thing. It's a great thing for the park to acknowledge those pass holders.
Definitely. You were worried about that, right? You were worried about that in a previous cast.
I mean, not for me personally because I didn't have a pass, for those who did, who did, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm glad for them that that the park is rectifying the fact that a lot of those pass holders bought those passes through the sale and market push of this ride and bought the passes purely so they could ride this ride, and the park are acknowledging that and just making up for that disservice, which is a good thing. In contrast to that, in the tweet that Busch Gardens Tampa Bay put out, saying that the ride would be delayed until March, they should, I feel personally, they should have included that information about the ERT in that initial tweet. What they included instead was I'll read the tweet out. I have the tweet in front of me right now. I'll read it out. The second part of that initial tweet was, keep up with all the thrills when you buy a 2022 fun card. Buy now and get the rest of 2021 free. To take advantage of, basically announcing an update of the ride to then just push, sales of future cards. That's in really bad taste, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They should have included the information for already guests who already hold passes in that initial tweet, and then had the second tweet say, buy a 2022 fun card. That would have been much better to address those people who had been hard done by first before trying to push any more sales. I just think that's in bad taste, given how the lack of communication, along with the delay, the actual delay of the ride.
It'll be forgiven once it opens, though.
Oh, of course it will. And that's another thing as well. Like people who are going on like replying to the tweet saying like, oh, don't care. The hype is gone. Like, I don't care about the ride anymore. They're accomplishing nothing. Number one, that's number one. They're accomplishing nothing with that tweet, because what the hell can the social media team do about that? Yeah. Secondly, like some of these people who are saying this shit, damn fucking well that you're going to be first in line to ride that shit when it opens. Yeah. So
you've got an Iron Gwazi t-shirt in the closet just waiting to be put on for opening day already.
Exactly. It goes back to me. It goes back to this whole thing where, like, a lot of parks make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes you just like, where's common sense and blah blah blah. But also, sometimes I just feel for some of the staff who, like, the marketing people at these parks or social media, because they literally can't do any good. We're talking about Flamingo not giving us a date. We just want a date, and then like, Iron Gwazi, we get a date, and then everyone is just like going off on them, and they can't really do. I'm not saying it's always one for one person, but it's just whatever they do, someone's going to be not happy about it.
Yeah, you're not going to please everyone, are you?
No.
It's always going to be that.
But it's enthusiasts sometimes, like, we can be a bit too fickle, and sometimes we moan, these parks don't care about us, and it's like, sometimes you're like, they probably hate us, because especially when you're in a bubble on like Twitter, and you think, it's just the theme park community seeing this. It's not. It's like families are seeing what you're replying to them. So you're like, okay, you're meant to be fans of what we do, but then you're just like slating us. I don't know. It's a weird one. I understand people being like upset and things like that. And it's good. It's okay to criticize a park, but there's a way you do it, man. And just be like sensible and like an adult about it.
Berating the social media team who likely has no, say in the decision to post updates and stuff isn't the way to do it.
It's like we said before,
you're not going to accomplish anything at all.
It's just negativity for negativity's sake constantly a lot of the time.
A few more. Nothing has been said about any pass holder sort of like making up for the pass holders, hard done by for Icebreakers opening. Maybe that's coming. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Emperor over in SeaWorld San Diego was also announced today.
Tonight, really, isn't it?
Like tonight, like literally, like
it was
an hour or two ago. That it's going to be delayed until March 2022 as well. So that's good for them.
That ride looks insane, by the way. That looks so quick.
It does.
Yeah,
I really like the look
of the layout.
Yeah, really quick, really whippy. I really like the look of these newer mini dives, and B&M seems to have sorted out the vests on them as well. So more breathability on those should be a really good ride.
SeaWorld. Just want to quickly say, don't want to forget people in the chat. So how are we doing, Dan Wallace? Good to see you in the chat. Isaac, as I think we said before, but always good to see you, man. Just remember, any questions, subjects you want us to talk about, just put them down. We are looking at them.
And we'll fire them up on screen as well. So
for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Carry on, mate.
Final bit for this SeaWorld section. SeaWorld San Antonio announced that Tidal Surge and SNS Scream and Swing, they're going to be opening that around spring 2022 as well, I think.
Nice.
So yeah.
I love the color of it. That's the one thing that stood out to me. The color of it, and that theme
I do like the color scheme. It looks really nice.
Yeah,
it's a cool name as well. Actually, it's a pretty cool name.
Wait, I just saw. Is it going to be in water?
I think it's going to be above water.
Yeah, the supports look like
it's not going to be underwater, is it?
That weird rock tower in the water that they like teased.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. That would, wouldn't it?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Harry from Coaster Boat, what's up, Harry? Said the mini dives in reference to Emperor. The mini dives definitely look better in terms of pacing and elements. I definitely agree.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they look great. They look
really
good.
So
yeah.
Is that all the SeaWorld stuff? SeaWorld
section?
Nice.
Unless I'm forgetting anything. Yeah, I think everything that needed to be said about those has been said.
Yeah.
Right.
Good one.
I mean, to be honest, your prediction was correct. Big Bird was just the start.
It was literally
the
match that lit the fire, right? That was
no.
the one. As if like you spotted that like straight away. You was like one of many announcements possibly to come, and I listened back to that and I was like, "Holy shit, you were right!" Like bang on.
Well, I mean, to be honest, like I did say that it wasn't me that said that at first. It was either BGW fans on Twitter or Midway Mayhem, maybe someone on Twitter where I saw the thing about Sesame Places. But I mean, it was a good point though. You know, all these parks are owned by the same company. Sure. They're gonna announce like updates around about the same time.
Yeah.
If any of you
guys, that's a screaming swing, by the way. But that would look
nice.
sick going over that water. If that's like that, like, is it?
Yeah, that looks good.
It looks so good.
Right? It's not gonna have a beach, right?
No, oh, this is what I'm saying.
I mean,
I don't know that part. I don't know that park, so I don't know if they've got something. I don't know. Or they're going to create that whole area.
As well. Like,
I don't know the
I feel like that's going to be like
Yeah.
the water park area. That's actually going to be a pool and not a beach.
Who knows?
Either way,
interesting.
It'd be very cool if it was.
Awesome. Why can't we have shit
So,
like that?
I reckon we move on to Fright Nights. Shall we do it?
Exciting. Yeah. Let's get spoopy.
Thorpe Nights. Let's go.
So, the last week or so, they've been Thorpe Park have been releasing these little tease trailers. I think it's like the TV to begin with. I'm sure all in the chat have seen it.
Yeah, everyone's been going mad.
So like hinting at little things, and then today they finally announced all the mazes and scare zones apart from one. So this is what we have going on here.
Nice.
It looks like, personally, I think it looks like a nice lineup. I said it on Twitter. But to me, it's basically Festival. They've re-skinned some of the things. Like I think Birthday Bash for me. I think that's going to basically be a Festival arena.
Yeah. It'll be just crazy celebration clowns and things, just like
Festival. Yeah, Festival for me was like my personal favorite last year.
Right, cool.
So I'm hoping that it's gonna. It's
not
going to be
totally
different.
interaction in there, didn't you? You saying like this.
Everyone who went in there got a lot of They had the most actors out of the areas, and it was just a lot of fun. So
that was awesome.
So I love how they say they put Rise in the Dark as an attraction. I love that.
The swan backwards again this year.
Towers will do the same, don't they?
Yeah, literally.
It'd be good if they
makes me
did.
laugh every time I see it.
There's the swan backwards again. Every Fright Nights, they put the same poster up for the artwork. This is the only PNG of the swan they've got from the marketing left, I think, and it's got the swan backwards. And every year, everyone's like, "Fuck, it's going backwards again! Like it's coming back!" Like, it's like, no, it's just literally they don't. Like, watch them do it now. What? Imagine.
Well, we've got Legacy, which is a fire and light show, which is going to be really interesting. I'm wondering where that would go, because it's only a feeling, but I have a feeling that's going to be part of the Birthday Bash, and they've like listed it as two things.
It could be like
possibly.
fire breathing and stuff like that. With
Well,
like,
listen, the
fire
description
shots
of
and
it.
stuff.
And I think the description said it's going to be a full-on like kind of pyrotechnics laser show. So it's going to go they're going all out. And as you can see by the letters in the top left-hand corner, Legacy, each letter represents something from Fright Nights past.
I
So
think
you've got,
I
like-
see Creek Freak is in there. Oh no, Cabin in the Woods potentially.
It's going to be a show
7.
dedicated to the past mazes.
Asylums in there.
Yeah. So I reckon that we have a cool soundtrack. I reckon they'll probably mix in a lot of different sounds and stuff, which I think that would be really cool. We have the crows back this year that roam around, but they also have their own scare zone this year as well. So I'm thinking that that's going to be where, I mean, because they're roaming anyway, surely they're going to make it an enclosed scare zone. So I'm thinking where like Cabin in the Woods, not Cabin in the Woods, what's it called, Roots and stuff is, they might make something around that like there. I don't know.
Possibly.
It was popular last year, weren't they?
So. And Rush.
But the crows are also
halfway.
so I'm guessing for this they're going to have different actors in the crow scare zone, so they're just going to have way more crows this year.
They were a big
they're
hit last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were creepy as hell, man. Like really nice touch. It's really nice touch because you forget about them and then they just pop up. So
I did like the look. Really like the look of their costumes and masks.
Literally looks straight out of
their
Batman,
activity.
Literally looks straight. Out of
they proved popular, so I'm not surprised they're doing that.
Yeah. They all had I remember listening to a podcast with I don't know who it might have been over I can't remember whose podcast it was now. Sorry if I can't remember what it was, but I remember one of the crows being interviewed and saying like they all got custom masks and they all got to have a say how they wanted their crow to look. So they went all out on it. It was really they had different facial expressions and stuff.
Nice.
And it's based on their face and that. So it's really cool actually. So yeah. So we have Swarm Invasion, which is back, which is really good. I want them to do a little bit more than they did last year. It was really cool last year, but I think every time I went over there, I was like, they could just do with some more like aliens over there. They didn't have that many. They had like 2, but if they put a little bit more,
go all the way in with it.
Yeah, that's it. Go all in, and hopefully because of like
maybe they will because of this new soundtrack they have as well now.
Yeah,
it explains a bit of a story. Maybe they will like try and round you up to get to that.
Yeah,
church.
maybe that was just maybe that was in preparation for it.
Yeah.
But hopefully, and it's no social distancing, so it's it's
be a lot better.
To be a little bit more like scare people and stuff. But I think the big thing is the fact that we have with the mazes platform is saying end of the line, which I'm hoping is that means it's last year because I'm not a big fan of it. It feels like a scare zone that you have to queue up for. To me, it's but Creek Freak Massacre is back, the maze. But on top of that, they're also keeping Creek Freak Unchained, so the actual area around it will also have them running around in as well. So they've combined.
I was going to ask. So I don't know much about about Fright Nights in general, really, but like the scare zones and Creek Freaks Unchained, I wasn't really sure what exactly that was. Was that a scare? Was that like a scare zone where Creek Freak is?
So yeah, Creek Freak Massacre was obviously the one into the new maze in 2019, and then last year, 2020, they didn't have the maze, but they just had the characters, a lot of the same actors from the maze the previous year, just running around the area outside.
Right.
And it was really good. It was really good. If you got some good scares just in the scare zone itself. So the fact that they're combining them both, it's gonna make it feel.
Yeah, very cool.
Again, really cool and like a lot more immersive as well.
The fact that you feel like a real place, like you're gonna go into this like a town, like the holding area for it, and then you're gonna go and then experience the actual story of that town, and then when you come out, you're gonna be thrown back into it. You're gonna be from the start through the middle, and then back out at the end as well. It's all going to be continuously running, which is going to be sick. That's
I imagine they'll have some actors near the exit, so as soon as you come out, terrified.
Exactly.
The only thing is, with
it'd be kind of like the end of the maze, but like it's not really the end of the experience because you go into the scare zone and just carries on.
The only thing that I'll say is because they've added the scare zones, they've reduced how many mazes they do, though. Because it used to be they would have a roaming group of actors, but they never did scare zones. And I think on average they would have 5 mazes. Whereas now they've dropped it down to 3 mazes.
Yeah.
It's just the thing, right, where it's made
But they've also lost space where they could have them, because they used to have the arena where Darren Brown's is now. They had an entire maze in there.
Yeah.
Mobile Valentine and
they've got enough spaces to do stuff though. I feel like they've got. I mean, they're not. There's obviously. I think obviously we didn't just talk about the new maze that's been hyped up a lot.
Which we don't know.
Mark was. But I mean, this is the Angry Bird shop, which I didn't even know there was an Angry Bird shop. That's how much I paid.
There is
that area.
Really?
Yeah, but it's but they've done this redo of it where it's this what is it, Super Spark pick and mix gifts. So it's this new branding that's very like Stranger Things style.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, like the mall, the stuff.
Yeah. So this is to me, this is hinting what the new maze is. As you can see, that question mark is like neon. And so all
80s,
the new they've got this in the shop as well. So like I didn't get a wider shot, but you can see like all the like pick and mix cups up there. The varsity jacket with a cinema style. It's got a cinema. I think it's going to be a cinema style maze.
Looks a bit preliminary, that sign.
I think it's just going to be a cinema experience in that.
I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is.
Or an outdoor cinema.
They're doing a lot of work apparently inside Jungle Escape, and they've been hunting for it for a while, like going back and forth with Jack Silkstone, just having like a bit of a back and forth about like what's going on in Jungle Escape. So they are having a maze. I'm pretty sure they're having a maze in that building, and that's what that
that'd be cool.
And that it's under mazes as well. That question mark is where it says the mazes.
It's a great building for a maze, because that's where they did have Asylum. They had the freezer in there. Oh god, that advert for the freezer. That's a throwback. Don't. Brr, it's cold in there.
But the funniest thing is, like, what made me laugh was I saw a video today by Dominic Gardner, the legend Dominic Gardner, and he went in. This is from his video, by the way, giving him full credit. This screenshot is from his video. He picked up that video, and on the back had all these credits. And you can see it just says directed by Steph, who I think Steph is like head of entertainment. I might be wrong there, but you've got
wow.
Directed by Kieran Adams, assistant director Jack Silkstone, and they got all these credits. I'm pretty sure this is about the teasers they've done.
And
which makes
Archie. I was about to say Archie's in there as well.
Which it makes me laugh if that is the case, and Jack knows all these details and he's been pretending in his videos. He's like, what's going on?
What's going on, Thorpe? What do you mean? Like, what's going on?
I've got credit
cut off.
Yeah, it could be a Jack Silkstone maze. You never know, couldn't it?
As soon as it drops, he just does the Friends quote. That is brand new information.
Pivot.
But I think something I just really like though is the fact that they've actually gone to a lot of effort. Thorpe Park have to do all these little Easter eggs. Just like thinking that much into having a video there, because this is done by. I mean, this is the thing. Like, this is done by a big group of people. Like, this whole marketing push has been done by the marketing campaign, the marketing department, and the entertainment team of Thorpe. There's a lot of thoughts gone into it, and it's just good to see that from a theme park. And getting the two guys in to come and film it, and then they do all the art direction, as in the park do. It's quite a good little thing, I think. But like, I just like the fact that they're making people guess what things are going to be, rather than just going, here's the information, that's it. Like, if we can have that of more UK parks and scare events, I think it's just something that makes interaction a little bit more fun, isn't it? Really.
I don't know if we mentioned this a little earlier, but Isaac Walter said in the chat, I think that shop will be a tribute store, like a Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. That would be really cool if it was. Like, I really like the look of how they do the tribute stores over at Universal. and sell like unique kind of stuff in there. I think that would be pretty cool to see.
Absolutely.
It kind of already has that vibe to it as well, because it's got like a whole section there selling stuff. So it kind of
Love you,
feels like a
Marcus.
tribute store. Shout out to Marcus, the Drunk Riders.
Check them out.
So Mark Yates is saying, it wouldn't surprise me if the Unknown Attraction is a cinema experience.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mark.
But I don't know, because it's under Scare Mazes. So if you go on the website, it's got Scare Maze. It wouldn't be.
It's got to be a Scare Maze. They
wouldn't list it.
It's got to be a Scare Maze. It's got to be. They can't just go with two.
Anything is possible. That should be their new slogan. Thorpe. Anything is possible.
I like what it's looking like. It's looking a lot more, like you said, like HHN a little bit, which is what we want. I think
that's the vibe they're going for.
Yeah,
because I've said this for a while.
Heavily watered down.
I was about to say HHN light.
The effort's there, and that's what matters.
It's not going to be. It's at the end of the day, like there's no park in this country who's got that type of budget. Like we're never going to get that.
But the effort's there, so they're trying, which is good.
A couple of things that I've noticed. Thorpe Park, their Twitter, like all their marketing team, everything they're applying to for the new maze with like a lightning symbol. A plug, so it's electrical.
Just going to lose power like they have all year.
and the mazes.
It's only saying true things.
The mazes do have the terms and conditions of additional paid ticket required, so it is still going to be paid for extras.
It's going to be
this marketing reminds me of what they used to do, like back in the day. They tease more. And I think they're doing a little bit of a throwback for this, anniversary. I think that's cool. But they've actually thought, right, what can we do? They've obviously looked back at what they did really well and what worked, and I think they've gone back to that roots of Fright Nights. And I think it'll be a good event. I think it'll be a great event.
I think it's going to be based on like a cinema. It's going to basically be like an old cinema from the 80s. There's going to be like something to do with a power cut, a power surge that, I don't know, like brings all these characters from Fright Nights of the past to life, and we're just going to have a maze.
That could be cool, yeah.
Screen.
They've already got the director, and from that what was the maze from a time ago where it was basically a
Studio 13.
Yeah, so it's like a rip off of like HHN.
Well, that's when they did the Lionsgate. Contract and did all the
so I think that'd be some of them characters in there, but then probably like big top characters, like all these just like ones from the past. I reckon
if Jack's involved, there'll definitely be big top characters, I reckon. That's all they go on about them lot.
In answer to Behemoth's question, it used to be you just paid to get into the park, but now for the past couple of years they are making you pay for your mazes too. Each individual maze is an individual ticket.
Alton Towers have been doing it for years. So.
Thorpe have only done it, started it last year.
Yeah.
I don't really think well, depending on the price. Like, I don't really think that's as outrageous as some people might, claim it to be. Depending on the price.
It does help them manage because the mazes before did get very, very busy. You would wait 2-3 hours to go through a maze.
Yeah.
Because the queues are
ridiculous.
I
don't want to do that. I do not want to wait 3 hours for a maze. Like
exactly.
Like they never last that long. So why wait that? I would rather have the paid option, because then you can decide whether it's going to be worth it for you or not. If you're not willing to pay it, then you don't have to pay it. Like you don't. The best thing about Thorpe Park is that they've got so much entertainment that you don't actually need to go and do the mazes.
I was literally just about to say that.
The scare zones.
Hopefully the mazes will be
like someone like me. I'm not quite as into the Halloween events as you guys, or like just as other enthusiasts in general. Like the scare mazes aren't the primary reason why I would go to like a Fright Nights or a Scare Fest. I'm going for the night rides first and foremost. But then like you said, like all the other, the other entertainment and stuff, the scare zones. I'm personally more drawn to the scare zones and the scare mazes. But like someone who who sees the price of the scare mazes and tries to weigh up whether it's worth it. They may choose to get a couple more night rides on Inferno or on Swarm or Stealth.
Or you could go, I'm going to do one. I'll pay £10, whatever it's going to be this year. If I don't know what it's going to be, I'll try one out. If I think it's worth it, then I'll go do the rest.
Yeah.
Personally, like I don't think, aside from Creek Freak, which is like that's the level of like I think like Towers scare mazes are like now. As good, if not better than some of the ones at Alton Towers. But if they're up to that standard, I do think they're worth it. If it's like Roots of Evil, if it's platform, it's not worth it. Like that, it's not. It just isn't because I'd rather go to a scare zone then. But if they're up in the levels, then 100%.
If they are, this
is the thing, man, and because that's the reason. It is the 20th. It's the 20th anniversary. I think a few people are disappointed that there's not like one big maze, like a legendary maze that you have coming back. But if they combine this new maze with all of them, then I think it's going to please a lot of people. So
I'm excited about this legacy business, whatever it is, the show, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah,
the show that looks awesome, and a bit like what Universal are doing, right?
I'm not sure
because they've done a maze, aren't they, with the different characters from the past? And
that's been done a few times. That's been done a few times.
It has,
before. A few different Halloween events that I've seen, but it's a good thing to do to bring back discontinued characters and stuff and engage with long time nostalgic fans of the event and stuff. It's definitely a good way to go.
It's an easy win as well, actually, for them if they do that. Yeah, like they should see that as an easy win. Like if we do a maze like with that, then people are gonna be like, oh, look, guess who I seen in there, and I'm sure Jack will put his videos out, and it'd be like, oh, you get to see this person and whatnot, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I enjoyed that scare. I wonder if it's gonna be the best of the scares as well, like
maybe
Yeah, best bits of each maze, maybe, or what has been voted for as the best bits.
I can't lie. I'm curious to get down to Fright Nights. I don't know if I will, but I'll be down there for Thorpe's Oktoberfest event. I don't know if I'll get to Fright Nights, but like I would jump on the opportunity. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how well done this whole event is and its different offerings. And to be honest, I'm curious to see Creek Freak Massacre as well. Like just to see how much, to see how effective it is and what it does. Because like I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of scare mazes, but I do appreciate a really well done scare maze. So
for sure.
Yeah,
Creek
I think
Freak,
that's it. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Creek Freak wasn't open last year, was it? It was just a scare zone, wasn't it?
Just a scare zone. Yeah.
So they've had a year as well to.
The only maze that was open was platform, wasn't it? Or did they have another one?
And Roots of Evil, which was basically Blair Witch. It was the same thing, just rebranded.
So
that's interesting that they're not bringing back.
I just think they realised how probably not good that maze was.
It was not.
I've said before.
You're walking through, but the amount of times I tripped over in that. Yeah. So you're walking through bushes, literally.
Yeah. I think I said it on a previous podcast.
They had the Roots of Evil though.
They're going to trip you up, man.
I felt like that maze. I said it before, and I think we agreed. I think it was you, James, we agreed with it. I said I felt like I was walking through a garden centre, because there was just like potted trees everywhere.
Yeah, I never did Roots of Evil, but I did Blair Witch when it was the exact same setup as that. Yeah, they just had IKEA.
Could you imagine a scare maze for haunted home base
as the walls?
Haunted home base.
That would be fun. The thing is, fake
barricade B&Q.
Fake trees would be fine if it wasn't so bright. The thing is, you can see everything in there.
Yeah,
and you can blatantly see someone hiding in a tree, like ages away. I'm like, oh man, like it wasn't. good. And what was annoying about Roots of Evil was they did an amazing pre-show where you had to have like a code name, and then you had to give that code name to get in. So they had this whole setup, and I was like, oh, this is actually really like clever. Like, is it going to be interactive, like proper interactive? And as soon as we got out of that, it was just like have a walk through corridors of potted plants, and I was just like,
did
you go through the shed ending? Then or did they not do a shed ending?
They had. It wasn't a shed. It was like a tunnel, but it was all just covered in trees, and there was someone like pinned up, as in they'd been like taken over by a tree. That was it.
I feel like I might have seen that in a vlog.
And I waited 2 hours for
that would disappoint me.
You had a whole thing on that night, didn't
they
you?
were really tugging at Roots there.
Oh god.
Do we know anything about the price, like the pricing structure, like how the mazes are going to be priced? Because like Matt Lovies in the chat said,
I imagine it'll be like last year.
Hopefully a combo ticket or any kind of combo offers like that.
Do you remember how much it was last year?
If there's a third maze, then
I'm
I'd
pretty sure
get
it
a
was
combi one probably.
Let me just have a look. I'm just gonna have a look now. Talk amongst yourselves.
So how much is towers? How much are towers charging for the 4 mazes?
I think it's like you get like a combo ticket for around £35, I think, or something like that. But then it's like £10. I think it's £10 per maze, but you can get the combo ticket, and it's
a bit of a discount. I imagine it'll be similar pricing then, probably about £25.
If there's 3, yeah,
for the 3 mazes, 30 if you do pay for them individually.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can't even buy the maze tickets at the minute. So you can
they haven't got them available.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I hope they just don't keep it. You have to have a combi ticket.
Apparently last year it was £10 a maze, and there was no combo ticket last year.
Yeah, they'll have to do what you have to do.
Hopefully they'll introduce it this year.
Yeah, because that's a lot.
It'd be good of them. It'd be good of them to do.
That's because that's like that's quite a lot.
I do 25 for free.
Yeah.
I'd pay any money.
If I'm gonna end up paying any money, but my thing is like if it's 3 Creek Freaks, yes. If it's Creek Freak and then 2 platform 15s, like that would annoy me if I have to pay £30 for that, because it's I get it. But then it's like, I don't know, like I'd like to do a few different run throughs of Creek Freak. I think that's what annoying people about this is they're used to. Last time Creek Freak was on, they could just keep doing it. They could just go and do it.
I had one day where there was no queue. Genuinely came off of it, went straight back through, and got a completely different experience. It was great.
Yeah, I live for Halloween events.
What kind of experiences did you have, James, in there?
It's just because they are able to split you off from the group and send you kind of down different routes. So like most of the groups went one way. I got split off and went down a different route, and genuinely had an actor just harassing me the entire way. This one actor was harassing me the entire way.
As he was walking through.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. like a VIP tour of Creek Freak Massacre there.
Basically, yeah. And like when we did the
4
Walking Dead one,
Alton Towers.
I'm guessing
Dead,
as it gets closer to the
we had a very annoying group that we were with.
Aaron?
So I'm guessing as we get close to the event, they'll release single mazes. They want people to buy the combi ones first at Towers. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, we normally have last year, you could buy them on your phone. Then they had like an QR code.
Yeah, they scan them.
And you scan that, and you could just buy a single maze.
And I believe they did the same thing last year. I believe they only released early the multiple maze ticket, and then didn't release the singles till later.
Which at the end of the day, like combo tickets, you just go for that, and then if you want to do it again, you can, if you feel like it's worth it. Like
if you feel like it's worth it.
Any of the mazes at Towers, I personally, like this is the thing, like people go, I haven't got money to burn, but then them same people are buying like hoodies every time they go to Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Or they're buying, they're buying like merchandise, and it's just like
spending like £50 on merch and stuff.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like people do moan a lot and go, "Well, I haven't got money," and it's like, yeah, but you keep posting up Twitter photos of something you just bought. Like it's like, but I value experiences more than like just an object, a thing I can look at or wear or something. So that to me, experiences are more valuable. Everyone's different, aren't they? So I know it's expensive, but it's 1 month in a year. I always try and make the most of it, save up some money a bit so I can actually like afford to go and do these things.
I think I went through the attic 5 times last year, and for me that's worth doing. I'd say I enjoyed it. Different days,
but that's the thing. Like you could but like saying that, like that's a lot.
Fuck the rest of the mazes. I'm doing this.
I'm staying in your attic.
I live here now.
Go on, John.
But for you, like, say, okay, you spent 50 quid on the attic last year. Some people will be like, that's mad. But then it's like some people will pay £50 for one concert ticket. Do you know what I mean? So if that's your like, if that's your thing, that's what you like. Like, it's just fine, isn't it? And not everyone is that into scare mazes. So yeah, they might pay £10 to do it once, and then that's fine. But you're a bit like me, where I like to redo mazes, see what type of different experience. It's live theatre at the end of the day. I say this all the time. To me, when you do a good scare maze and the actors are really good and they're thinking it through, like they're really good at their job, it's live theatre. So I always think it's worth it.
I must admit, it did never occur to me that like you could do a maze more than one time and get a different experience every single time you do it. But of course you could. Because it is like it is like
what actor you have.
Some were better runs than others, but it was different every time. And I always like going through and seeing how they do things well and trying to look at the set pieces and stuff.
Yeah, because you could go in some mazes and it feels like the maze is packed, and then you realise actually there's only like 3 actors in it. But if it's done really well, if a maze, they've got these little rat runs between everything, so they can just be in. They can just go straight through a wall or straight through a little thing, come out the other side, or hatch, bang on a hatch, and they can just do loads of different things at once. So sometimes you could easily miss like the best jump scare because the actor's just not being able to get to the right time. So yeah, it's always worth doing.
Like it's stuff like that, like really intelligent scares that. Yeah, I can appreciate those definitely. I'm still kind of, warming myself up to going through scare mazes frequently, but like I can definitely appreciate like an intelligent, well thought out scare and stuff. Because when I was at Blackpool this last weekend, and the people who I was with went down Passage del Terra. Nice. I was away taking photos at the time intentionally. And
it's awesome. That honestly is awesome.
And when I met back up with them, they said like it was good, but the like the scares were kind of just like it was just like constant, like one after the other. It wasn't like it was a bit like in your face, like intense, like the whole way through, instead of like thought out and like to like build suspense and stuff like things like that.
That was a bit like when I did it, when you were there last time, McCall, and then you was off taking photos. But like that's the same sort of thing. Like the first time I ever did Passage was last year when I was with you, Luke, and you skipped it. Me and Joe went and did it. And that was such a good run through because it was just so well planned, and it was like they've got the Michael Myers bit where there's like a hallway, and then he just appears, and then he disappears, and then he's behind you, and then the second time we did it when we was with you, McCall, well, you wasn't there, but that same day, it just wasn't as good to me because like just some of the jump scares. It's not always about just being like blah in your face.
That's what they were saying. Like a lot of them were just. I never use that excuse. What do you mean?
There's nothing worse than someone just shouting or screaming that there's just nothing worse.
Yeah.
I love doing Passage. I haven't done it for a while, so I bet it's changed a lot. But I can remember
it was
years
just like
ago.
it was just like because it
We'll
reminded
do it
me
when we go.
the things that
Yeah.
like that kind of
100%
description of the scares. It reminded me of when I did King's Dominion's Halloween Haunt in 2018, and all the scare mazes were like that. Like it was just like really intense music and audio and stuff, and then just the scares were just like just like rapid fire one after the other. I was just like, it gets to the point where it's like there's no suspense or anything, and it's like you're just walking through like a line of people just being loud. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a shame you had that experience.
I've been in Tesco.
The best thing about a scare maze for me, right, it's the anticipation. As soon as the actor comes out, like I have that bit of scare, but then I'm like, oh, thank God, I know where you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, like, So
I personally love the scare mazes. I hate horror films. I can't do their kind of build up suspense.
Sorry to any horror fans in the chat.
For some reason, like being able to have an actor there that can literally, because some mazes in the UK, they can touch you, they can grab you.
Yeah.
Literally having an actor come up and grab you out of nowhere. Will not harm you. I actually don't find that as scary as a horror film.
Wow.
And I actually really enjoy it. I saw a message.
I guess it's because they're not. I guess part of it is because they're not actually going to try to kill you.
Yeah.
It's just literally brilliant to know that you've got the choice to have this experience or not. It's something else we can do with this attraction. And I just love to see how different they can be as well,
Yeah, as a message from Thrill Riders, Creek was closest to Farm Park level that Merlin have gone. No one does it better than Farm Parks. I do agree. I just had a look, and unfortunately my local Farm Park, Broadwich Haunt Fest, they are not doing it for 2021 either. Whoa. They are anticipating a return next year. But some of the scares that they did at theirs were
Howl-O-Scream, York Maze.
Mental.
Go and do that one.
You keep mentioning that, awesome. And I'm like, I need to.
Scare Kingdom, it's amazing.
The farm parks just take it to a new level, and it's great.
Coaster Dan said Extreme Scream. Also, that's probably, I don't know, man. Out of that's got my favorite maze of all time, which I talk about all the time, which is the Village. I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
That one sounds
great from
descriptions. It's insane, man.
Yeah,
it's so good. If we can try and all go and do that together, I would love it. Like,
I'll be up for that.
Such a good.
Where is it? Where is that?
Twin Lakes. So it's Twin Lakes theme park. If you Google that, it's Melton Mowbray, which is like. It's like, I think it's like, is it Burton Way? I might be completely wrong.
Okay. Not too far then.
It's about an hour away from me. But Tully's. I've got my Tully's ticket. Oktoberfest. So
I want to try Tully's. I got some friends
my first year this year.
Don't want to take me through Tully's as well.
I've heard Yorkshire Scaregrounds have upped their offerings. I'm checking them out this year as well.
We'll have to do, to be honest, when it's nearly October, when it's Halloween time, we'll have to do a special episode, mate.
Twin Lakes isn't it's what, Midlands near Nottingham and Loughborough.
Yeah, that's it. Like Nottingham way. Yeah,
near Leicester as well.
Yeah.
Coasterbot said I can do mazes perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Harry,
I hate horror films.
We saw you run out of. Everyone runs out of it.
He said, "Nope."
What maze? What maze?
Subspecies, was it?
Oh, did I say Subterra again?
Oh, did you say Subterra?
Went on my heartstrings.
Subspecies.
And Bully Pupil, do you think we'll ever see a maze like Subspecies again, where they split the groups up?
Oh man! Every time I got taken through the door, every single time I did it,
I loved mazes like that.
Pulled through a door. I will miss it, but I hope they bring it back in the future years, but in a different incarnation and a different location.
Because
I want it to be. Go on.
I never did Experiment 10 at Thorpe. And they genuinely, when they batched a group through, it was the perfect amount. Everyone got a locker, which they went into.
Oh my god!
You got separated straight away. But the My Bloody Valentine, they did batch people go, okay, you through there, and separated you through 2 different paths. But then actors also held you, so you did end up going through that separate path by yourself as well. I ended up accidentally going into an actor hidey hole.
Is there any? So talking about like separating in separating in scare mazes and stuff. Are there any other, like, whether it's at a park or like one of the farm scare events as well? Are there any mazes that do that separation better than how it was done in Subspecies, where they like had you in front of a door and then like an actor would just open the door and just pull you through it or something like that?
I was just going to say, last year I ended up going through on my own quite a few times because of the way they were like sending you in and stuff.
But are you on about like how clever ways they separate you?
Yeah.
So there was Warsaw Scare Maze, which is a great one in near me.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
They've won like the scare con award and stuff a lot of times. But the first one I did, it was like basically like giving confession, one of them booths. So that was one.
Oh, like repenting your sins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
That's cool.
There was, and then again, a Warsaw Scare Maze. So you always do Christmas Scare Mazes as well. So the last one we went to was 2019 Christmas, and the way they did it there was like this really like horrible looking Santa who was, as you're walking through, he's just like, "Have you been naughty or nice?" And you tell him like. You go off being nice, and he's like, "No, you've been naughty," and then he just sends you off a different way, or like it goes, "You've been nice, go down there." And you're separated from your group for half the maze, so it's like it's
Sean. You should apply for that job. You've got the voice for it.
Sorry, Harry's comment there. Nice. Holy moly, Warsaw has a scare maze. Warsaw has nothing, but it has a scare maze.
Yeah, no, it's true. It has. It's £12. I think it's about 12 quid.
That's pretty decent.
But it's only one scare maze, but it's long. It's like 20 minutes long.
That's pretty decent.
They build everything themselves. It's really, really good. It's in a permanent location because it's also a pub most of the time, and then like a club. It's actually a gay club, and then. But then they have this room out back where they just build it all year round, and like the guy who runs it builds all his own stuff. Like honestly, the last one we went to, you go into this room, and then the literal whole room shakes up and down, and then it feels like you're in a lift, but then it starts like rocking back. Mate, it's insane. Like wow, so crazy. It's really. I definitely say it's worth it, even though it's one scare maze. It's a really, really well done one, and they do it this year. It's called the Bunker. So
Bunker 41.
Yeah. So
just looked it up.
That was dope.
Nice.
Why is it always the numbers that make it sound worse than it is? Like it was just a bunker. Be all right, but 41. It means like there's been 40 other incidents.
Sean,
40 other killings.
Yeah,
Sean, can you remember that maze at Halloween? What was the something machine?
Oh,
and they separated you like 1, 0, 0, 1.
Singularity. The singularity.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was really
different
good.
doors, didn't they? Yeah, they did that then.
That was really cool. I can't wait for you. Anyway, I think we've spoken a lot about
scare mazes, yeah.
And it's not even Halloween. It's not even close.
I know.
We did this last year.
Happy Halloween.
We did this last year.
It's just so easy to just go into a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
it's very fun. It's very
right.
Fun.
Let us know, guys, in the comments what your favorite scare maze, scare zone is, what your favorite experience has been at a Halloween event. Let us know in them comments. And like I said, if you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcast, and on Amazon Music, ask your Alexa to play Chain Dogs Podcast, and it'll come on. Then jump on to the YouTube live 8 p.m. on Wednesdays every week and get them questions in, and we'll answer them, and you'll hear them on the podcast.
That might be the most I've gotten involved in a Halloween conversation.
There's more on the way.
Right. So that being said, has anybody in the chat got anything you want us to touch on or just go through? Just let us know in the chat now.
Yeah.
And we'll put the question.
What do you want to talk about, guys?
I want to touch on this Dreamgate Margate thing. This virtual museum that they've made for the Scenic Railway, which you can go onto the website and I'll drop a link in the video description actually. And it's a 360 tour. And Sean's head is included as well. Yeah, there you go. It's a 360 tour of like an art gallery style museum, all about the scenic railway. There's like old construction photos of the original track, photos from the fire, photos from when they redid the ride, photos from the actual park itself, old aerial images. If you're into that kind of thing, has a few videos as well. You can go into a virtual cinema. And you literally like move around 360 and then you click the screen. Everything is clickable on the screen. It's just really cool. It's just something a little bit different. Sean's right what you said before the podcast went live. Like, they should open the rides, but I do feel like this is something that's really cool. I don't think this is about opening the ride itself. I think this is, let's tell you about the history of this ride and why it's so significant to the park and to the area. So check it out, guys. It's amazing. Go onto the website and check it out. Honestly, it's really good. That's what it's saying. But when you put that in Twitter, I was just like, mate, last week we was all moaning about this flipping VR thing at Flamingo. Yeah, this is good. This isn't the ultimate experience. This is a gallery.
No, let me finish. Get the ultimate open. And they've not opened Scenic Railway, and I'm looking at this video. I work in these things, and I know I'm like, this has cost a fair bit of money to put this together. Yeah. Put that money in Scenic Railway. Get it open, mate. Like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the history. That's why I want to actually go and ride Scenic Railway, not just look at the history of it.
I'm like you, I've never ridden it. So
I've never ridden it.
Same opinion. I just wanted to showcase the cool work that they've done.
It is good. It is good, and it's nice to know that they appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. They know what they've got, right?
Rather than like Lightwater Valley.
Yes.
You know.
It's celebrated 100 years, right? And it's funded by the National Lottery, I believe, as well. Yeah, so they wouldn't have had to put a lot of money into this. So this is just for the history base, and I think it's awesome. I want more of this, please.
I'd rather have a physical museum. Why can't I build?
It's not just trying to gain, and it's not just trying to gain clout off of the name of an SBNO ride. Like, it's a completely different thing.
Well, I really don't understand why it's not opening this year.
It could just be down to
the cinema or the Scenic Railway.
Scenic Railway.
Maintenance or
it's not just that one. It's a bunch of rides there and attractions, like mazes and stuff. So it might just be staffing issues.
It might just be really struggling. I don't think it's struggling.
I mean, it's probably just a fact. But you say that, but then there's a lot of local parks that are opening. Like there's a lot of local, like every local park. I can't think of one except for Lightwater who are not opening like major attractions. Like, so I don't know. Like, it makes me worried. I just hope that they're actually keeping on top of the Scenic Railway. Do you know what I mean? They're like maintaining it and stuff.
Sorry, I've just seen one of their attractions.
What are you laughing at?
It's a giant inflatable Tina Turner head.
Tina Turner head. I saw that. Yeah.
Why is that one of their
attractions? The best.
Because why not?
To list that as an attraction is so funny. Like,
I hope it opens next year because I want to go.
Yeah, there is a lot that they've got closed. As well.
God, take it away, McGar.
Well, it's just,
mate, I've been working at weddings all summer. You don't want to know how many times I've heard that song.
Oh no!
But you got the dance down, right? You got the moves down. Groove down with the tray, like.
But my problem is, right, is that vicious cycle of if they don't get rides open, like who's gonna go? Like I would have gone there. I would have literally gone there and given my money. So it's that vicious cycle of like, okay, they are struggling, but also you gotta give a reason for people to go. This is the This is the year of staycations. This could have been one of their best years. Most local parks are having their best year, best year this year because people aren't going abroad and spending. They're spending money at home, and people want to go. Oh, do you know where we used to go when we was younger? Margate. I can go to and they'll go there and they'll ride the rides they did when they was younger, and it's almost like a nostalgic year as well for a lot of people. So it's a missed opportunity to me. Like,
definitely,
there might be more appreciation out there as well for what we've got. So it could have. I would have gone.
Yeah, so obviously I work on a golf course. A little bit of a stat for you guys here, right? The amount of scores submitted from the end of March to now, like I think it was like 2 weeks ago, in golf in the UK was was the same as in 2019 of the whole year. So in 4 months, the amount of people that are playing golf because they appreciate what they've got now. It's like the leisure itself in the UK.
Golf. What would you mean, like in just like private clubs and stuff?
Yeah, like submitted scores on England Golf. I listened to it on a podcast, and they were saying that the amount of submitted scores matched already what the whole of 2019 produced. So that's the amount of people that are getting out and about in the UK. That's the market that Towers are reaching out to, Thorpe are reaching out to, and these local parks, as well as these local scare mazes as well, if they're able to open. And it's just the point that, like what Sean was saying, this could be one of their best years, and you are spot on. They should open it, and people will go, and not just go to there. It's the area as well, right? The hotels,
spend money in the area.
That's why Blackpool is just buzzing at the moment.
There's a fun-looking ghost train there. Then I'd go for that.
Yeah,
that's open.
Well, there you go.
I just, it sounds harsh me going, oh, they need to open, and it sounds like one of them things where it's just like, yeah, but they've got no money. It's just like, just find the money somehow, because I know that they were owned by the council, and then they've been bought out. I think I can't remember who owns them now, but there's just got to be some way you can get it open and be like, look, if we open now, we can get tourism back in. They're doing a lot of gigs and concerts at the minute, which I think is bringing them some money in. So I don't know,
loads of it.
Got to be a way.
Loads of concerts.
Yeah, which is good to see, but also, they've got like, I don't even think the big wheel is like going around. The Ferris wheel is like aren't open, and that's like one of the big center points of the park. What they put
because the lock closed. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. But but like you say, it's good to see that they are appreciating it. I'd love to see more parks do what European parks do and a lot of American parks do, where they have one building that is dedicated to the history of the parks. Like I was want to see like them utilize some of these empty buildings.
Imagine one
a
at
lot of parks have got.
It'd
be amazing, wouldn't it?
It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? It would be so good.
Flowers you go into roller coaster restaurant, it's like a museum. But a lot of people miss it because it's like on the walls out of the way.
Yeah, it is.
But if they could put all that into like a museum, and like I've been to, I think of you have as Luke, you and Luke and James, you've been as well, like inside the offices at Alton Towers. They've got so much stuff on the walls from like, Oblivion opening and like just like concept models and things like that. Like they've got it.
Mad artwork as well that you could just frame and put it on a wall and you walk in there.
The same with Thorpe. Thorpe has a lot of history.
Yeah, it does.
Which is crazy. Which has been lost. And like they could have like just kind of even a part of the dome, just a wall that showcases the timeline and the history of the park.
That'd be sick.
Just
that'd be a sick
part
just running across the top of the dome, just running around.
Not even all the way around, just because like over by Refresh and Refill kind of station,
where the screens.
They have kind of a blank space there that they could use.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
And have some history.
I'd say Tyler's asked a question, I believe.
PMBO.
Pepsi Max big one.
Yes. I was struggling to think what that's.
Honestly, when I see these abbreviations, my mind goes,
Blackpool in general right now is really busy because everyone's trying to get them last holidays in before they go back to school. And it's rammed, and you've got Illumination season coming up soon. So, I mean, if you're going to Blackpool at the weekends,
again, appreciation for what we've got. Appreciation.
Well, it will be because it's school holidays. But
but a lot of people have been saying that they've been running it on one train. Because they've had I don't know what's going on, but they've had issues. With the
maybe they're just I don't know.
So people have been saying that it's been like 15-minute dispatches, up to 15-minute dispatches.
Oh wow!
Which I love Pleasure Beach, but if I was seeing that, it would drive me insane. Like to see that. You know what I mean? I think that Pleasure Beach have some of the best like operations. Personally, I think because of the age. icon for. But considering the age of some of their rides, they have some pretty good operations. So yeah, obviously they're having issues with one of the trains. I don't know what the hell it is, but I don't know.
So it's
McCall, you're
still yeah. So like I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning was, but on the Saturday, the last late night ridings, and Emma and Carl from Top Full Taurus will be able to attest to it as well, because I met up with bumped into them as well. Scott from PB as well. It overshot the brakes a lot, like a few times on the Saturday. And at one point, like we were in line in the last like half hour of the day, and it started raining pretty bad, and I think one of the trains overshot the brakes in the rain, and then both trains ended up on the the separate brake blocks outside of the station. And I don't know, I'm not entirely sure what the cause of that was. I think it might have been because one of the trains, or both, I don't know, overshot the brakes, and that caused it to, it opened late on the following Sunday, and it was only running one train on the Sunday after. So I think they tried to get it back open with two, and like literally the park opened at 10 and the big one didn't open until like 11:30, 12. Like,
did it actually open with two in the end though?
No, it opened with one. I think they tried to test it with two, because there was a train parked on the lift like a lot. So like I think they tried to open it with two, and then just eventually got it open with one. I didn't ride it on the Sunday. The line was so long.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
was taking long.
It's not that uncommon for it to overshoot. It's
no, it's done it quite often. It sounds like it's just a problem with the block system, and they're just waiting for maybe a part to come so they can put the second train on again.
Isn't there like a massive dent in like the shutters of like where? Have you ever seen that? I'm sure I've seen a photo of like a massive dent in it.
I know what you're saying. I do kind of have some sort of memory of that. Yeah, they've had problems with the block sections on that ride since it was built. Obviously we know what happened, back when. But it sounds to me like something's gone wrong with the computer system, with the blocks.
Well, yeah, if it's overshooting like the brakes, they're not going to be running it with the the F1.
Yeah. Remember what happened?
Yeah, they did that once.
Pictures to put up.
Yeah, they did that once. Wow. For the benefit of those listening to on podcast platforms, Luke, an image has just popped up of when they attached a F1 car to a big one chassis and sent it around the track.
Only at Pleasure Beach, eh?
Yeah, only at Pleasure Beach, legit. It's not even Pepsi Max sponsored that F1 car. What the fuck? Like, you think
when you see that video though, it looks so painful. Like,
oh, it does. He looks like he's just dying in that thing. Like,
yeah.
Oh man,
Coasterbot just put in the chat, spotted by the big one. How sad! Like, yeah, Harry was with me there.
Oh no,
we were in the line at like, what was it, like 9:30, 20 to 10 or something like that, and. It happened, and there was a drone up above the like the initially I think stopped operation because it was a drone like up in the air around the lift.
Drones are the big one. Assholes. Just stop it.
Right, like what
unless it's Blackpool, then carry on because the footage is great.
I mean, also
when the illuminations are on,
the proximity of Pleasure Beach to the airport.
Exactly.
Flying a drone anywhere in that area is very bad.
It's just very bad. It's just fucking stupid.
But yeah, like a lot of stuff just happened. Like there was that drone, and then it started raining, and then it started coming down, pouring down really hard, and then it was determined that the big one was going to shut early for the night. So we went over to Icon, but all of that happened in like quick succession. It was really event. Yeah. Only positive thing about the big one breaking on Saturday night was the atmosphere at Icon. Yeah, it was. That was funny. We go on.
I was gonna say, was it better equal to when we was the last time we were there? Because that was pretty like
it was pretty much the same. So like we got in the icon queue line, and like obviously, you know, queued up or something. Like once we got into the station, we heard everyone just cheering for what seemed like no damn reason, and we were just looking at each other like, what the fuck's going on in here?
What's I just happened to train by any chance?
I just happened to see, like, after a while, I was like, after a while of the confusion, I just happened to see Carl on one of the trains. I was like, of course it's because of Kyle. I was like, of course it's fucking Kyle getting everyone hyped for no fucking reason whatsoever.
That's so.
Oh, I love Kyle. I love Carl even.
Carl.
Appreciate. Apologies, Carl.
That's mad though.
The
drone thing though is mad. Like
it was definitely Marcus.
If I just hope it starts. I just
doing anything for those angles.
Yeah, legit. Instagram's gonna light up soon with drones.
There seems to be this mad competition at the minute of people doing like who can outdo each other on cinematics and stuff, which I'm just having a break from because I'm just not. It's not the reason I'm doing it. But like, can you imagine if some flogger is like just taking it to the next level and it's like, I'm gonna get drones, man. I'm gonna get drones out there, mate.
Drones.
That's just mad. That is.
Buy a drone from that shop that sells all the vapor stuff and just throw it up there, and then it'll get stuck and never come back down again. It'll end up in.
To be fair, you could get the small Mavic, which literally fits in your pocket. You could probably get that on the big one and then just fly it off out of your palm of the hand.
Don't give them ideas. That's it now. What are you done?
Yeah. Do not fly drones near roller coasters unless you are a trained
To be fair,
professional.
Unless you're licensed,
you shouldn't be doing
you should not be flying it anywhere near people. Anywhere near people. No. And you'll get arrested for it as well. Like you will get arrested for it. So the problem is now is that like you can get a really good drone for like 400 quid. And
yes, you can.
You don't have to have anything to buy it. You can just buy it off Amazon, and people don't realize like actually. Like if you hit someone with that, if that drops out, if you lose signal, most of them got an inbuilt safety system, but you never, especially with the winds at Blackpool.
Yeah,
Jesus,
like that's not where
you can lose control of that thing quick.
If that drops out of the sky for any other reason, that falls on someone, that's manslaughter, man. That's manslaughter charges. So just be careful.
I can confirm that Blackpool,
especially with a fucking train like going past. If that was anybody on a coaster train. No.
Blackpool Pleasure Beach is within the flight restriction zone for Blackpool, so you should not be flying a drone within that area.
It's right. It's right next to it, isn't it?
A bright red.
It extends up to like the cutoff is about the tower. Where you would then start being allowed to fly a drone without being in the zone. But it extends up.
Stupid, man.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, a lot of drones these days have inbuilt into them that they won't even take off inside one of them zones. So it must be like a really cheap. It could either be hacked or just like a cheap knockoff brand off brand.
It's even worse.
Off Wish.
Yeah. But anyway, a lot of people have been talking about Diggerland. So do you want to go into Diggerland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
You want to run point, Luke? I don't know much about this.
I don't know much about it. I literally seen it just before we was like starting up, and it says Diggerland Devon is closing for the foreseeable future. Diggerland Kent, Durham, and Yorkshire remain open. So again, another small park falls to the problems that they're dealt with. James, you want to get any little bit more information on it? That'd be cool. But it's just sad to see.
Has anybody ever been?
I've been to the one in Kent.
I've never been, but it looks so much fun. Like, it looks really.
I think I've heard of it. But I've never been.
So you basically like just drive diggers all day and JCBs, and they have they have rides where you get like in the bucket and they spin you around.
Yes.
So
on an actual JCB, like not some sort of flat ride. It's literally a JCB. You sit in a bucket.
All their attractions are licensed machine equipment.
Yeah.
So it looks as if Diggerland Devon theme park attraction set will be closed from September 5th because of the issues caused by the human malware pandemic.
Yeah, human malware infusion.
Diggerland said the decision has been made with deep regret and not been easy to make. So I'm assuming they have been losing custom, can't afford to keep it open. They're very expensive to maintain. They are literally maintaining
I mean, like
heavy machinery.
The construction zone.
It's construction equipment which they're having to maintain
there as well. But I mean, so we need to know if Devon is like the biggest one or if it's the smallest one. I can imagine that.
I think they're all about the same size.
Yeah, I think they are. I remember. Do you remember when we got it on GeoGuessr?
We did, yes.
I mean, we were like, what's this? And I was like, it's Diggerland somewhere, and it was the Yorkshire one, and that was big. That was massive.
It looks a little bit smaller than the rest, but it's about the same size.
I didn't know there was more than one of these. Like I remember seeing. I only thought there was one in Kent for them.
Yeah.
I remember like seeing brochures for them when I was a kid and thinking, "Oh, that was really cool," but there's no roller coasters there, so I don't care.
There you go.
But, I didn't know there was more than one.
They've got all the kids right, but
the other parks have managed to get back into profit, but this one had struggled.
Yeah.
Did you explain what Diggerland was? Sorry, just
so it's
It's around on diggers. That's that.
Yeah. So main attraction that like the one in Kent has is Spin Dizzy, which is a giant excavator, which they have put seats into the bucket of. You sit inside, they spin you around. It has the ability to tip you upside down as well if they extend the bucket out. They have a 100-foot cherry picker with seats in. You sit in that. Great views from up there, actually. But I love the safety feature that they have. There you go. There's Spin Dizzy.
Oh, clamshells! Look at that.
With the horrifying mascots that they have.
Yeah, what the hell? That's not even Bob the Builder. That is like
I hate their mascots. They're horrifying. But the Skylift one. If you have an issue, the way of alerting the operator is at the front of the thing. There is a rope which you chuck over the side.
Oh my God.
And it dangles down, so they see a red rope and they know to lower you back down.
Wow. Wow. That
sounds sketchy as fuck.
It sounds like TikTok the theme park. That's
like, it is a very, very weird niche, but quite fun. Especially when you get to drive diggers. You get to drive.
Families like the places. Families really
it's popular for kids parties. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people.
This sounds like the kind of thing. If it was in America, it'd be like a load of like rednecky like families would go to.
They would moonshine,
a roadside attraction. Yeah, every one of the roadside attractions in America.
Diggerland moonshine.
I don't know, man. I think like diggers are quite a big like for kids as well. Like,
yeah, for kids, it's like my God.
I at this point I want to try a digger out, and you can actually go and get in a digger and excavate. So like I see the appeal. I see the appeal. Like
for adults, you can just go and construct things in a field with a massive digger or
wow.
If you go onto any beach, whether in this country or another country, you will see a dad digging a hole. Like you will see a dad digging a hole.
If anyone was thinking of applying for that new construction worker spot that Rocky Mountain Construction was advertising on Facebook, just go down to Diggerland and get your experience there. There you go.
Get your license. Perfect. Do you get a certificate?
Perfect career pathway there.
Destroyed everything.
I feel like there was for one.
There's a Diggerland USA, by the way.
What?
Wow.
Diggerland USA.
It's Texas.
What? Yes. Sean's getting excited.
Is it Texas?
What are we betting? We betting Texas? Or...
I'm going to say Texas.
It's got to be Texas.
No, I reckon. Oh no,
shout.
Or
I reckon it's like somewhere in the Midwest, like like
Or Missouri,
Kansas, the Dakotas.
I feel Missouri.
Yeah, or Missouri, Indiana, maybe.
It'll be near Dollywood,
Wisconsin.
Well, I don't actually know. It says West Berlin, so we're Philadelphia. So like New Jersey.
Oh, it's
wow. We're all wrong then.
In Pennsylvania,
way wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the amount of
that
farmland and cornfields, the amount of farmland and cornfields in Philadelphia, like that makes sense a little bit.
It's West Berlin, New Jersey. So yeah, there you go.
At least they won't be short of equipment to remove their.
It is genuinely a carbon copy of the UK ones.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Oh wait, no, it has a water park as well. Of course, it has a water park. Everywhere in America have a water park.
I guess there's a limit to what you can do, right? There's a limit to what you can do.
It's called Tsunami Splash, and they just dunk you in the water. That's
of course.
SNS went to for their. That's where they went. That's where they went for their research and development for it.
So Marcus actually,
right.
Did you see that? Did you not see it before?
No, at least they won't be short of equipment to remove their.
We're just saying that. We're just saying it. I read his house.
And then he put two students.
So Marcus actually brought up a good point a little earlier on. He said, I wouldn't say the location was good for Diggerland Devon either, because everyone in that area just goes to Creeley as well. Yeah. So I don't know that area much myself, but
never been to Devon.
But like if most of the people in that local area, are going to Creeley, not that many are going to, I guess they're losing out on the competition side. I don't know.
Probably go through them building shoots that drops bricks to the ground, scaffolding for the water park. It's literally like Home Alone when he goes down the tubes.
I remember I saw a video recently of someone actually going through one of them. But
I always used to wonder what it'd be like to go down those. Like,
so high.
No, they didn't realize though that halfway through it wasn't connected properly, so it was actually a drop down to the ground.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Literally went through and then just goes. Yeah,
I like Diggerland USA's their slogan is drive, ride, soak and slide.
That sums everything up, doesn't it?
Solid.
Pretty much everything up.
Yeah.
That's comprehensive, is that?
Why does ride, soak, and slide just sound so dodgy?
The good thing is in the US, the location keeps moving, and they're just basically getting to do the groundworks. That's what you're doing.
I don't think you're wrong.
So it started in Texas. That's what we're saying.
Smooths around, yeah.
Well, they can easy, like where most parks would have to get like planning permission, won't they? But they could just be like, no, we're just digging. It's just
Bob over there just dug a massive hole, so we stuck a ride in it. Like,
why is there an 8-year-old like making cement over there? It's just part of the experience,
breaking all kinds of child labor laws.
Yeah,
why is that kid building a wall?
You mean our world renowned cement mixer?
He's building a wall. Oh my god.
Oh man.
No, that's
anyway.
Actually, no. I feel like building a wall would just be a Donald Trump experience, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's too soon.
No. He's the mascot.
On that note,
he's the.
It is.
It kind of does look like him, actually.
It is sad to build a wall. It is sad when anywhere closes. 60 jobs going.
Oh man,
that's,
they've been there a while. I bet they've been there a while
Yeah.
as well from the start. Probably most of them.
And these smaller places as well. Like they're probably they've got a really probably tight kit. Kind of more like a family vibe working there.
Yeah, it's family.
Definitely. I can see that.
It's just sad when anywhere like that has to close, and it's this. I just hope this isn't like the first of many little attractions going, because a lot of these type of attractions are still kind of, they've had loans and stuff come through, but we're getting up to the point now where you're having to pay these things off because of COVID. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that word. Because of
the
Hero.
Because of infusion.
Because of infusion.
You can change to Nash if you want. Do you want us to change to Nash, Mikhail?
Yes, change it.
We'll call it Rita, yeah?
Yeah.
No,
that's harsh.
I thought you like Rita.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, you.
I just want to say Rita more on this podcast.
Say Rita as much as you want.
Last episode, you said you can't wait for it to go. So I don't know what's going on, mate.
Like, you didn't say when it eventually leaves.
That was for individual gain.
Make your mind up, man.
It depends how I sleep. All right. Jeez. Can't catch a break around here.
No, I will say it's weird because like you mentioned earlier, with the amount of people staying in the country for staycations and stuff, it is strange that they haven't been able to get the amount of revenue needed to stay afloat and stuff. It's just strange. It's like I said, I can't really say that much about the area because I don't know about that area.
No,
but
I don't.
Just with the amount of people staying in the country and having to stay in the country, it's strange to think how they couldn't have gotten, the revenue and the income that they needed.
Maybe this doesn't have as much mass appeal as the other parks and things.
I would say it's probably something to do with like marketing, because not even that many people like know about Diggerland, and there's a few of them. Like there's a few of them around the country. So
that's true.
It's I think it's more of probably like, if you're close by to Creeley, I personally think like Diggerland is so unique in terms of like who it's targeting. It's not really targeting people who want to go on roller coasters. It's like a whole day out where you just have like a different experience.
It's like a school holiday attraction.
Yeah, it pretty much is, or like a part, like a, an 9th birthday party where you take all your mates to one of these places where you go like quad biking and like when you're younger and things. But say if you're close to somewhere like Creeley, who maybe have a little bit more marketed budget, have more time to put flyers out or everywhere. That holiday market is getting taken away from you, maybe. I don't know, but it's going to come down to the individual Diggerlands and how they go around marketing themselves, because I doubt that there's a Diggerland HQ that is just doing all the marketing for them. They're going to be responsible for their own marketing, aren't they? So
another thing as well is that they could have been struggling before Grand National, so it's like
oh god! It took me a second to work out.
So, is it just a family?
It's like that armchair.
By the way, people who are confused, Grand National is a code word for something.
Yeah, Grand National is Infusion now. Infusion
that has affected everyone in the world.
For the plague.
The plague,
for the pestilence, because no one wants to say
that's what we're going to cut.
Molly
Lee. So are they owned by a bigger company, or is it just like family-owned business, or they individually family-owned, or is it a large company?
It could be a franchise, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
JCB own them.
No, don't think it.
JCB World Headquarters.
It's part of the HE Services Group and All Safety Limited.
Sounds awesome.
All Safety Limited, and you get thrown around in bucket.
It looks good. I've heard people who've been on it. I've said that Spin Dizzy is actually like a pretty good, for an actual contender for a decent flat ride. So,
so the company that owns it, they look to basically be like a hire company,
right,
for diggers and stuff, like basically hiring.
There was this YouTuber, right, called David Dobrik, who hired a digger and took it out into a sea, but it was like a really shallow bit. Got his mate to like hold on to it, and he was like swinging him around like really, really fast. But the problem is like these diggers, they have like if you go too fast and you keep doing it, it just cuts off suddenly.
Yeah,
like it just suddenly stops. And so it just suddenly stopped, and the guy, obviously when we mentioned, just fell and then like fell down onto his neck in the water into shallow water.
Yeah, actually could have killed him.
It could have killed him, and he's still he's still really, really bad.
He's massive arguments over that.
Yeah.
And then David Dobrik got a lot of hate for that because he was laughing about it.
Yeah, because like he does with everything.
He was just like, "Oh, you're both sides." No, you almost killed him.
Yeah, you literally almost killed him. So the only reason I was just thinking of that in terms of like, I have these diggers can't go that fast, but I don't know. That was something that just popped in my head. But that is so on a tangent. So
I'm guessing they would have modified though. Like,
yeah, I reckon. Can they though? Would that be?
So,
yeah, they can.
So
the
ones
there's overrides for them.
The ones that you use to like dig out a little trench kind of area, just to like basically have fun digging, they have a hard limit on how far you can go left and right.
Right, okay.
So you'll get to a certain, so you can't dig outside of the area that they was trying.
Can't just start driving off.
Yeah, you can't drive them ones at all. There's only a few that you can, and they're on specific tracks.
Yeah.
And from what I know, Spin Dizzy doesn't have that hard lock of it cutting out.
Could you imagine going around and it just stops really fast, like the jolt you would get from that?
They slow you down.
Over.
Yeah.
But we've talked for so long about diggers.
Diggerland.
Digger that machinery.
Digger pass.
The chain digs. Anyway,
we are twinned with B&Q, ladies and gentlemen. We were waiting to announce it.
It's Boo & Q.
We have this Dodonpa.
Oh yeah.
Do it, Mikhail. Do it.
No, just before we get into the actual subject, like the operators for Dodo Dumper at Fuji-Q in Japan, they apparently as the train is about to dispatch, all of them just start going dun dun pa to like raise the atmosphere and stuff.
I want to see that.
I need to see that. But no, the topic in question, the reason why we brought up Dodo Dumper is it recently got disclosed, I think in the past like week or something, that Dodo Dumper at Fuji-Q Highland in Japan has recently been closed for the foreseeable future because for undisclosed injuries between the times of December 18th, 2020 and August 12th, 2021. So not that long ago, have just recently been brought to light, and the injuries were significant. They included cervical and spinal fractures, so like fractures like in the neck, chest, and back. It's weird that how these sort of injuries and incidents have only just now come to light. We've like it seems like no one had heard about these things, and they've happened within such a long time period. It's been like almost half a year that these separate incidents had happened, and now Dodo Dumper has been closed until further notice. I'm just wondering, like, why that is. Like, why did it take the Yamanashi prefecture to only just now, notify us about what had happened? Obviously, I'm not going to speculate anything because it's a delicate subject. But
it could be a legal thing as well.
Like,
legit could be that.
Yeah, perhaps. I'd obviously, like, it's whether it
after us, are they?
Well, yeah, sure, but
I'm not gonna risk it though.
What was I gonna say? Maybe it's just because, like, the geographical location of where most of our industry and vocal community is, like, we are very far away from the East and Japan and the East in general. We talk about our bucket list coasters over there, getting on Ijanika and like all the rest of them and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really get much news out of the parks over on the in like the far eastern hemisphere and stuff. So there's like the possibility of just news taking very long to get over here and stuff.
True. And when it does get over here, it is always misreported, as evidenced by what Emily shared on Twitter. Tats and Coaster.
Shout out Tats and Coasters. Shout out Airtime Angels as well.
Facebook post by Newsweek. So headline is World's Fastest Accelerating Roller Coaster closes after breaking rider's bones. The image for that is Stealth. So they're putting that out for the general public to see. Most of which won't know what the world's fastest accelerating coaster is, and know that Stealth goes fast, so probably assume that.
You just know when you turn up there and Luke is just going,
absolute clickbait.
Oh, Luke, if you're listening,
do it.
When I come down to Thorpe next month, and like, please be chanting that when I ride Stealth.
On that microphone as loud as you possibly can. I want to hear you on the Swarm Island, bro, doing that. That needs to happen.
So, like, while we never really get news out of them parks, when we do,
I'd be good to see you.
You can't trust it because just as evident with this, they literally went onto Google, as Mikhail said before the show, typed in fast roller coaster. And because they're based in the UK, got a picture of Stealth, and then just used that.
Look at the interaction on it, though. Even though it's wrong,
27,000 reactions to it, 95 comments, 203 shares.
Not one mask on that train. Not one mask.
How many people in the general public is that going to have reached, and they're going to miss, like, not click on it? Just see Stealth and then go, I'm never riding that because...
Park, I'd be pissed. Like,
yeah,
because it's bad news. Right?
Look at it. What the fuck you bringing me into this for? This thing got nothing to do with
me. And someone actually put that's actual liable.
Yeah.
Yes, they are liable for that, because if Thorpe now all of a sudden get a massive backlash and loss of revenue from false reporting, has nothing to do with them. That news outlet's liable for that.
They can take legal action against that.
I think they can. They can definitely get it taken down or changed.
They could. I mean,
they probably will.
Yeah,
I thought that was my. That's an heavily worded email. Oh no! Was it Newsweek? Like, hold on to your hats, guys. Like,
yeah. Let's have a look on Google Images and see what.
Just said when I look up fast roller coaster, a boomerang is shown.
I mean, it's fast.
Fast roller coaster images.
What's the first one?
Mad.
Getty Images. Like, you just go in there and type roller coaster in with.
The first one is. Oh, I don't actually recognize. Let me see. What is that? What is it? I don't actually recognize it.
For those listening to the podcast, James is now.
Oh, I-305.
Cue elevator music.
What?
I-305 was the first thing that showed up. However, I've now found the image that. Wait, bring up the Newsweek one again. Just want to double check.
All right, 1 minute. I did, that one.
I got it. Oh, we did it at the same time.
You do it.
Yep, this is the exact one. So they got that image from the Sun.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, lovely.
That's even worse because the Sun, like.
Wait.
There's
more.
That's what I got.
It's a Sun article from 2018 saying the time of day you ride roller coasters determines how fast they go.
So this is what I get, and like right. So I'm just typing this fastest roller coaster. Where's it gone now? It was just there, but there was another one of Stealth.
The bottom.
There,
that one there from Washington Newsday, and it's the same thing. After breaking rider's bones, the Washington Newsday.
What the fuck? This is the same photo, just mirrored.
American.
Yeah, it actually is. It's the same photo that has been mirrored.
So they're just putting this everywhere. So this is the problem with newspapers. They just copy, articles, don't they?
Worst, man.
Yep.
It's so bad. It's so
bad.
Googling
the fastest roller coaster in the world. This is so stupid. Like, some of these rides, like,
so dumb.
No,
just do your research. You're paid to research these things.
Yeah, they literally get paid to research.
Like, it's not hard.
And the thing is, the article, they even state that it is Doja Tompa roller coaster in Japan.
Just go for a stock image.
So I feel like that Washington Post article is probably an exact copy and paste. No, it's probably a copy and paste as well.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
It just mirror it.
Anyway, back to the issue. Hopefully these
I just said that. Yeah, Getty Images.
Yeah. Most likely. Hopefully these investigations can go I see Doda Dumper being down for a good while. Like, it's probably going to be closed for first and foremost, most importantly, hope that the people that have suffered these injuries, hope the riders that have suffered these injuries are able to make full recoveries and stuff, because no one wants injuries on these coasters. Like, it's the last thing we want. But also, I can see Doda Dumper being down for probably the rest of this season, maybe sometime into next season as well, because that's 4 separate investigations that they have to go through. They're going to have to do investigations for every separate incident, and that's 4 on top. Like, doing investigations for one incident, like Top Thrill Dragster we'll get into as well. Doing investigations for one incident takes like so long. Like, it takes so long. They have to do 4 separate incidents. That's going to take a ridiculous amount of time. And just hopefully it doesn't spell the end of Doda Dumper, because for me personally, that's one of my top bucket list coasters that I want to get on.
Is it?
For sure. Like, that is that. I don't have like a set out. I've been telling myself I need to do a definitive list of my bucket list coasters, but I haven't done it yet. But like, when I do one, Doda Dumper is going to be towards the top of that list, because I need to try that. I need to try that coaster.
Experience that acceleration, man.
Absolutely. Like, I love me a strong launch. So hopefully they're able to, carry out the investigations smoothly, and carry out the necessary safety overhauls that they need to, while retaining the experience that it has always given, the launch experience that it has always given. But like, it's super. It's always sad to hear something like this, and I'll cover this Top Thrill Dragster update as well. Just real quick, I'll go through this. So there was very recently, within the last week, the Ohio Department of Agriculture has provided an update on the unfortunate Top Thrill Dragster incident that happened. The object that came off of the train was in fact an L-shaped flag plate, which was attached to the back of the train. And the flag plate, the job of the flag plate is basically to signal so it's an L-shaped piece of metal about the size of an adult male hand, like something like an adult's hand, attached to the back of the train. It signals the location of the train to the proxy sensors on the track. So when the train goes across the track, when the train goes across the track, the proxy sensors, when they send the signal back to the ride's computer to let the computer know where the train is, it's the flag plate that the proxy sensor is picking up.
Right.
So that's what fell off the back. Apparently, it was attached to the left side of the green train, which the Top Thrill Dragster ride ops call the money train. It was attached to the it was attached to the left side of the green train, and fell off around about. If anyone knows the layout of Top Thrill Dragster, it's pretty simplistic layout. But the part where it apparently fell off was right where the finish line was. Like, once you come down the top hat and you're about to enter the brakes, you go under a sign that says finish line on it. Apparently, it fell off around about there. It's not known whether it fell off on the brake run or before the train hit the brake run. So, you know, it's not really like, was the train at full speed off of the top hat when it fell off, or did it get slowed down by the brakes before it fell off? It's not known.
Or during the brake.
Or during the brake run. Or during the brake run, yeah. There was something else. So the train has been sent off to a testing lab to inspect the back car of the train, because half of the bolts that were used to secure the plates of the train were still attached to the train when it fell off. So which begs the question to me: did it shear off?
Yeah, it sounds like it sheared off.
It might.
The bolt's still in. Must have.
Yeah,
must have snapped off.
It must have been something like that.
Which is a freak incident for that to happen.
That's a freak incident. Yeah.
Very freak incident.
But yeah, the train has been sent off to a testing lab to inspect the bolts still attached to the train, and an inspection is like the Ohio Department of Agriculture is continuing their inspection on any track damage. Apparently there was track damage, well, not damage, but like signs of impact and deformation.
There must be.
Stuff.
If that's sheared off, and if it's going, like you said, if it's going at speed, then that's going to leave potholes in the tracks and scrapes, scratches, and all sorts of things.
Not
probably
gonna
knock some sensor off as well if it's.
Not gonna speculate too much on like what could have happened or anything, just like it was all included in the update that the Ohio Department of Agriculture provided the other day, like a couple of days ago. But yeah,
and the park were really forthcoming with everything. Very open. They were answering questions and all sorts. So it's the video is worth watching, I think.
Yeah.
That they've put.
Yeah, I watched it earlier today. They provided a lot of information for sure,
which is good, right? Which is good. So
I'll put that in the chat if anyone wants to watch it. Don't watch it right now because you're watching us.
Pay attention.
But yeah, just save that link for later. But just quickly going back to the stealth photo, I have found that on Getty Images, that exact photo.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I did try to have a look for it. I couldn't find it.
So this is Getty Images.
There it is.
There it
is.
Oh
my
god. That's the one they used.
375 pounds.
That's the one.
What I can't understand is how is this possible? Because they in the terms and conditions of Thorpe, right, it says you can't use anything for monetary gain. So they kind of let vloggers and photographers, because we're not directly getting money from it, and maybe we're getting and plus it's marketing for them. But when there's a photographer literally uploading their images, this is they're getting £375.
Yeah, it's got to be an official image, hasn't it?
No, it says Daniel. So whoever this guy is, Daniel Staff. It says, hold on. So he's all his photos. So unless they've licensed that to them, but it's so weird because if you put Thorpe Park in Getty Images, some random images come up. It's really weird. I was just looking through it now. So you got all these, but then you got all the what? Why? What?
Oh, so that's going to be from when they do
press things.
Private hire events.
But why is this on Getty Images?
It's going to be because that looks like it's for Boohoo.
They will then.
So the photographer will. It's basically paparazzi. They can sell it to Getty Images.
What are these images?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
So that's a paparazzi photographer. So they put it onto Getty Images usually, rather than selling it directly to a news outlet, and then the news outlet will buy it from Getty Images.
Yeah, so they'll be like, this is Thorpe Park.
Put resort in Thorpe Park. See what happens.
What?
Put resort in after Thorpe Park.
The people listening, we're so sorry about this. This is very visual right now.
That'll be
right now.
Press Images.
Press Fright Nights.
Press Images.
That's awesome.
Fright Nights. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
So Kerry Katona.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of these will then be able to be bought by news outlets.
Press.
There you go.
Lots
there
of
you go.
money.
There's some official.
It's actually
I'd say official.
Park. Yeah.
Yeah,
For those listening, we've literally been looking at celebrities after typing Thorpe Park into Getty Images. Try
300.
It's interesting.
We found the stealth photo that was shown.
Amongst
But
others.
yeah, I would like to know like how that works, because like they're making big money off the if news people are if the news articles are buying these photos. Obviously a lot of news probably have some kind of membership with Getty Images, so they probably get so many images a month.
Sorry, I'm leaning in to look at this one because that potentially is
that could be you on there.
That I was 20 date created 2021, probably not actually.
No, definitely not.
£375.
Jesus,
because Thorpe did do an official photo shoot for one of their events.
Yeah, I need to start taking some pictures and upload them.
Craco Facosa's just said in the chat, Thrill Riders coming in with these cold, hard, incriminating facts.
Thrill Riders, that's definitely legal selling. I've done loads of research in stock, and that's
what I'm saying. I'm saying it is illegal. Like, you can't do that. Like one thing is like, so Thorpe Park, in their terms and conditions, if they personally capture anyone, they can use your image for anything while you're on park. But if someone else goes and does that, they have no right to have your face in the photos. Plus, Thorpe could actually probably sue them for it if they haven't had permission to sell these after the fact. So I don't know. It's mad. I don't know why. I don't know. Weird. But anyway,
journalism
tangent.
But Thorpe Park, if you're listening and this, starts something off, then them Scare Maze tickets, they'd be great,
Yeah.
How do you bring that back to Scare Maze tickets?
That's what it's all about. It's all about the Fright Nights, man. It's always
what Isaac just said. What Isaac said makes me laugh so much. It has the same energy as Not on Camera, mate, doesn't it?
That's 100% legal. Not on the camera, mate.
Not on camera, mate.
We'll get copyrighted now.
It's 100% illegal.
100% bullshit. Like,
but anyway, in terms of news, I mean, has anyone got any questions? Anything we want to talk about before we go off?
I think we actually managed to cover the news.
Wow, we actually went through a schedule and we kept to it.
How about that? Well, just off the back.
Sorry for riders. Not on Getty Images, mate.
That's insane.
Go on, Mikhail.
Oh, I was just gonna say,
we've not run any banners.
Like off the back of like bucket list coasters and stuff like that. Like, do you guys have any? I was just thinking earlier today off the back of that news. Like, do you guys have any bucket list coasters that you feel like you need to get before they get removed or like before they become defunct? Because like I would hate, for the like worst case scenario from this, something like from an incident like this, like a ride that I really wanted to get on has to get removed for whatever reason, or just like in general, a ride that you really wanted to get on for a long time being taken out because it's reached the end of its service life or something like that. Like, do you guys like what bucket list coasters have you seen like that you feel like you need before they get removed for whatever reason?
I'd say 10 inversion coaster at Flamingo.
Can we end on that? That's perfect.
I hate you so much.
Oh shit.
I mean, right now, personally, for me, like there's loads in the world that I feel like that about.
In the chat as well.
Ultimate, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Ultimate right now is one of them things where I thought I kept putting it off, and I just can't believe. There's a real possibility when open again.
Yeah,
but it's I don't know, like man, there's so many to think about because I mean, even like I'm a big fan of like B&M inverts, really big fan of them, and there's so many that now that are like getting to that age of like
Sure.
Just where
I
never
end.
I never really started considering that until like dragons, that went, and then but I don't know. How about you guys? Anything that you feel like could very soon could go?
For me personally, it's just being able to get out to these places in the States that you might not get to in time before they change stuff up, because they're changing things like so much.
You see him going like the one that just from my own experience, I had the opportunity to ride Vortex at Kings Island in 2019. Nice. Me and a friend of mine, we were at Holiday World, and we'd planned to go to Kings Island the day after. No, yeah. What we'd planned to do is spend like one day cred running Holiday World, and then for the second half of the day go to Kentucky Kingdom, and then the day after go to Kings Island. But we were like I want to spend like a whole day at Holiday World and then a whole day at Kings Island, at Kentucky Kingdom, sorry. And I don't really feel like that drawn to go into Kings Island. So like I'd rather spend a whole day at Holiday World and then a whole day at Kentucky Kingdom. So like, we won't bother with Kings Island. I'll get there. Like I'll get on the rides there. I'll get on Vortex. Famous one. Yeah. Because then they ended up ripping it out. So like I never got to get on Vortex. And like people have their opinions on Vortex. Like some people hated it. But,
sure. People have opinions on all the older rides.
Yeah. So like I had the opportunity to ride Vortex, and I kind of turned it down in 2019, completely oblivious to the fact that it was about to get removed. And,
who knew,
and it's like,
who really
like
knew? That's
who knew? But that's really good. Like, it's not even to say that I was like especially drawn to Vortex, something like that, but it's one of those iconic Arrow multi-loopers in it. Like they garnered a really notorious sort of reputation, and it was anytime anyone got to ride it, it was a great thing, along with the others like Great American Scream Machines, Shockwave, Viper over at Magic Mountain, stuff like that.
Yep.
And I actually got to ride Viper at Magic Mountain, and I really want to get on that again before it dies.
These coasters paved the way, right? So what comes next is always insane. Like it's always great.
I've never done like other stand-ups, and them stand-ups are like normally the first, like they're just ripping them down like nobody's listening.
Yes, and
the stand-ups, they're all getting converted to flawless.
I don't understand that. I mean, I know that they're not the most comfortable in the world, but I mean, once you've done a stand-up like Shockwave, for example, if you do that for the first time, that will be like that. I can understand that being rough.
That'll be on Saturday.
Man. We're doing it.
Are you going this week?
This week.
I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some tips to ride it good as well.
Tips on how to lose your balls. Sponsored by Manscaped now.
Yeah. That'd be insane. Imagine that sponsorship. Though.
Yeah, just ride Shockwave all day, sponsored by Manscaped. That has to happen. Make it happen, please.
That's fucking hilarious. I don't get this conversion to flawless, man, because it's just like you're taking something that has got like even though like it can be a bit uncomfortable, right? It's unique. And then you just replace it with something that, and because like when these kind of elements and the whole pacing is designed, it's designed with like stand up in mind, right? So suddenly like you turn it into something else. Like how is that? Like Shockwave would be so boring if it was sit down. Like what would be, there'd be nothing special about it. Like there would be nothing, but because it's stand up, doing that like 0G is like. That's mad. Like there's no feeling like that 0G that I
going off of that, like with Shockwave being the only stand up with a 0G roll, like none of the others have like a unique moment like that. Like a few of them have, you know, like the inclined loop, like you know, Riddler's Revenge and what was Mantis, which is now Rougarou at Cedar Point. Like they have the inclined loop, but like none of them have the sort of elements that are unique to stand-up coasters. It was more so about the transitions, being in that stand-up position and going, like, you know, going left to right and right to left on the, you look at the layouts of those old 90s, early 2000s stand-up coasters. It was more about the second half and like the transitions while being in a stand-up motion. But like it's weird because Georgia Scorcher at Six Flags Over Georgia and Riddler's Revenge at Six Flags Magic Mountain, those were the two that I thought were really good. Like I think they're really good coasters.
Riddler's Revenge is one of my bucket list coasters.
I think it's really good. Granted,
it's just one of them that I saw, like, you know, coming to life on like Coaster Force back in the day. You just seen it, you're like, what's that ride? What is that ride? I've got to get on.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I mean, I was the same. I was the same, and then I rode it, and I really enjoyed it. Like it was really good. Granted, I rode it in 2011. I rode it 10 years ago. So whether or not it's riding the same as it was then, I don't know. But yeah, like that and Georgia Scorcher at Six Flags Over Georgia, those are the two that I thought were really good. Green Lantern at Great Adventure, on the other hand, not so much. So like it's not a terrible ride.
It's just Green Lantern in general. Like it's not
that much of a fan. Yeah, it's not that much of a fan.
It's really weird for me because for me, growing up near Drayton Manor, like I was so used to doing like Shockwave so many times that to me when I was younger, that was like a normal thing. It does nothing strange about it. Until I started going to like other parks when I was a bit older teenager, and then like I didn't go back to Drayton Manor in like probably like 5 years because I was just going to other places.
Yeah.
And then when I went back there and started, I was like, this is so bizarre standing up now. Like it's just a weird feeling. And there's just something about Shockwave has really awkward restraints to get into. Like it's like putting on a suit jacket or something. It's really weird. But it's just something about stand-ups that I really want to try more out. And like I said, because they seem to be getting converted a lot.
Definitely,
it's a shame if they go.
Yeah, that was my point. Like a lot of them, like they offer the experience, like the stand-up experiences. It's like there's not many of them at all, but like none of them really have, you know, like the unique elements in that riding position like Shockwave does. And a lot of people don't really think they're that comfortable. So I guess in response to that feedback from guests, that is what gives the parks incentive to convert them to there's another, like Vortex at Carowinds is another one as well. That is one of the worst coasters I've ever ridden. that thing is not good. That thing is not good. Green Lantern is just it's not it's all right. It's all right. It's not that good. Vortex at Carowinds needs removing. I'll say that.
Yeah. I think the problem with stand-ups is because I'm guessing them ones, again, it's like you're in charge of your own height of where you adjust.
The
same sort. I think that's the problem, is because you're giving people that control. If someone puts that up too high, that they're like basically sitting on it, like a bike seat,
then you're gonna coming off the Florida train and stuff.
That's gonna be a horrible ride. It's just like it's really, when you look at it in that sense, where you're giving people too much control on their own experience. You're getting different people, because what I do is, it's not the official like way you should ride it according to manufacturers and stuff, but I just put it as low as I can. So it doesn't touch me at all, and then I'm just standing. I just feel like I'm standing by myself. There's no support underneath me. The best way to ride it, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Expedition Theme Park did a little mini documentary on Shockwave, and he used some of my footage, which I'm really happy about. Which is so cool, just to have like even seeing my name at the end of the video. I'm like, that is so cool.
It's very cool.
But he said he finds it better if you are stood straight legged when you're adjusting the seat. Where
I did find that.
But I find it better is when you're adjusting the seat, if you have a bit of a like kink in your leg and you do it like not fully standing straight, the seat does not come up and hit you in the balls. That's the problem with stand-ups. If the seat comes up and hits you in the balls, that's not very nice. So I try and keep that well away. Well away. So by standing straight-legged, I don't see how that's more comfortable. But apparently some people do find that's the best way. I guess it just depends what you like, innit, really?
You're an experienced rider, bro. You're an experienced
Do
rider.
what you want with it and see what happens.
If you want that effect of it hitting you in the balls, like I'm not kink shaming. You know what I mean?
We don't kink
shame.
No, we do not. We do not do that.
Why was last week ended up being about dogging? Last week you got kink shaming.
Just the way we roll.
Right. Are we out?
I think
2
we are
hours,
done.
10 minutes.
On that note,
we've had 16 people currently watching all the way through. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Everyone
Whatever your
who's
kinks are.
interacted as well, and everyone who's subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Every Wednesday. I'm not here next week. I'm on holiday. I've got a holiday away, and I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. I'm gonna watch though.
I'm
watching you. I'm watching you.
Even I tried to get on from holiday. It was a disaster.
Oh, that worked.
That worked well, didn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, guys, please. Also, it's really important if you can just hit the bell icon. I know everyone says it, but it just lets you know when we're live, and if you forget, you know what I mean, it will come up. And if you're not doing anything, come and just chill out with us. Even if you're not watching us, have us on in the background. It's great. It's brilliant. So but yeah, make sure I'll put out on Twitter this week that currently we are on the following podcast platforms, which is Google Podcasts, we are on Spotify, we are on Amazon Music.
Spotify's the best one.
Spotify's the best one. Come on. We're on loads of other random ones as well that I've never heard of, like Audio Boom and like
I had a look in the Chain Dogs email and seen we got the podcast on a bunch of random streaming. I've never even heard of these right now.
We're basically on every podcasting platform except Apple.
Yeah.
We've not been like, it will go through. It's just Apple.
Spotify.
It just takes the longest to be approved. I've had confirmation that they're still looking into it. So it will be on there sooner or later. But yeah, it's just Apple for you, isn't it? It's just annoying as hell, man. But yeah, it'll be on there soon. We'll let you know. But yeah, go and follow us on any of the following ones, and listen to us wherever you are. But thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate you being here in the chat. And I guess if anyone else has got anything else, unless anyone else has got anything else to say, are we ready to go?
Yeah, all good.
Yep. We are good, bro. We are out.
Thank you. See you later. See you next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheers, guys.
Bye.